The arrival of the first Archer 6x6 Howitzer on UK soil comes almost 6 months to the day it was contracted and is the first of 14 guns which have been purchased for the Royal Artillery. DE&S will also deliver ammunition resupply system, an initial ammunition suite, a training package and an initial support package as part of the contract. The platform, which enables new ways to fight, will be fielded by 1 Deep Recce Strike Brigade, and initially held by 19 Regiment Royal Artillery, the Scottish Gunners. Larkhill, Wiltshire, where capability integration activity and safety trials will be carried out to meet initial operating capability in 2024. The rapid procurement of Archer comes following the UK's commitment to granting in-kind 32 AS-90 self-propelled guns to Ukraine. The systems have been bought under a government-to-government agreement with the Swedish Defence Materiel Administration and have been upgraded to a UK specification by BAE Bofors. In January, the Office of British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announced that it was sending 14 main battle tanks and 30 AS-90 self-propelled weapons to Kyiv. The move has created an intolerable gap in the Army's 155mm close support capability. According to the Army, the gap needed to be bridged in order to meet the UK's commitment to the NATO New Force model, which aims to create a larger pool of high-readiness forces across various domains. A next-generation artillery system, the Archer is a more mobile version of the Haubits FH77 Howitzer featuring a longer range of fire. It needs only 30 seconds to spring into action and fire, and only 30 more to be on its way, according to manufacturer BAE Systems Bofors. Additionally, the weapon can fire 6 rounds and move 500 meters 1,640 feet in less than 2 minutes, while the crew remains protected inside an armored cabin. It can fire conventional artillery ammunition, as well as the bonus anti-armor and Excalibur precision-guided munition. The British Army has taken delivery of its first Archer wheeled artillery system after just 6 months of signing a contract with Sweden. The delivery marks one of the fastest procurements of a complex system that the country has ever witnessed. The first Archer mobile Howitzer 6x6 gun for the British Army has arrived at Marchwood Military Port in Hampshire. The UK government had granted 32 AS-90 self-propelled guns to Ukraine, which left a gap in the Army's 155mm close support capability. To meet the UK's commitment to the NATO New Force model, the Ministry of Defence quickly procured an interim solution from Sweden through a government-to-government acquisition. This was one of the fastest procurements of a complex system due to necessity. The delivery marks one of the fastest procurements of a complex system that the country has ever witnessed. The first Archer gun has arrived on UK soil after being contracted 6 months ago. This gun is the first of 14 that have been purchased for the Royal Artillery, along with logistics support containers, an initial ammunition suite, a training package, and an initial support package. The first Archer unit will undergo a series of field tests and evaluation on the way to achieving initial operating capability in 2024. These will undergo trials and evaluation for approximately 6 months, and artillery soldiers will start training on them from next spring. The guns will be fired in the UK next summer. A total of 14 Swedish Archer 155mm artillery systems will be handed over to the British Army by next spring. Colonel Stuart Nass, Assistant Head of Military Capability Delivery, said, "It is one of the fastest procurements of a complex system that's ever been conducted through necessity. We had an intolerable gap which needed to be closed, and we were fortunate our Swedish allies had an opportunity for us to purchase some of the Archer artillery system. That meant we could move quickly, to seize the opportunity and buy the new capability. In February I was given orders by the Army headquarters to go after Archer, and 48 days later we were on contract. Thanks to a joint team that was established with Defence Equipment and Support, our delivery agent. We worked collaboratively at some significant pace to achieve this acquisition in record time." Colonel Nass explained. "These will be undergoing trials and evaluation for approximately the next 6 months. Artillery soldiers will start training on them from next spring, and we will be firing them in the UK next summer. They will be with the Field Army immediately after that first firing, so by next autumn they will be with the Field Army and used on operations as soon as possible. As the project matures and the doctrine for operating develops, the systems may be reallocated elsewhere to maximize their effect on the battlefield. We've procured 14 Archers because that was what was available at the time. We have an aspiration to buy another 10, which will bring us up to a full regiment of capability. Colonel Nass concluded. The Archer is an interim solution until the delivery of Mobile Fires Platform project at the end of the decade. A separate program which is the replacement program for the heavy artillery. This is not the replacement for the AS-90. The DE&S, which manages defense contracts for the UK Armed Forces, will conduct tests and trials with the Archer project team to ensure compliance with UK legislation and a smooth start into the field army. The platform offers new ways to fight and will be used by one Deep Recce Strike Brigade combat team. Initially, it will be housed within 19 Regiment Royal Artillery, the Scottish Gunners at Larkhill, Wiltshire, as a reference gun for the trial. The Archer gun was designed and built by BAE Systems Bofors in Sweden. 4 more guns will arrive in the UK by the end of the year, with the rest arriving by spring 2024. DE&S, International Relations Group, supported negotiations of the deal with Sweden, reaching an agreement in the space of just 2 months, demonstrating agility and DE&S capability to procure at pace to rapidly deliver the Army's requirements. Colonel Rob Hollenrake, DE&S team leader responsible for the interim 155mm project, said, "The delivery of the first Archer gun system to the British Army so quickly after the initial contract agreement is testament to the hard work and diligence of all those involved in the project. We are totally committed to equipping the UK Armed Forces as soon as possible and supporting them, whilst meeting our obligations to operational commitments."